welcome back in our lecture series in the subject crime causation or theories of crime causation. So in this lecture, we shall be discussing the latent trait theory. Once again, your lecturer is Darlito Bernard G. Delizo, known as Sir D, Tatay D, or Dr. D. So it is expected that at the end of this lecture, the learners should be able to retail the concept of latent trait theory and relate this theory to a specific object. In other words, they would be able to understand and to explain what is this latent theory as one of the causes of crimes among individuals. So what is latent trait? First thing first, what is latent? Latent is something that is hidden, something that is not easily seen. That's the idea of latent. So when you say trait, again, we're referring to trait as the biological or physical characteristic of a person. However, when you say latent trait, meaning these are not seen. Okay, if you are looking at a person, you cannot see that this person, okay, has a defective intelligence or this person is intelligent. So something like ang latent trait, ito yung mga katangian ng isang tao na hindi mo nakikita. Kapag tinitignan mo yung tao, hindi mo kaagad-agad na masasabi kung ito'y matalino or may tinatago ito na impulsive personality or meron siyang genetic abnormalities. Okay? So yun ang tinatawag natin mga latent traits. However, in connection with the explanation of crimes, this latent trait pertains to a stable feature, meaning pag sinabing stable feature yan ay more or less naka-establish na yan sa katawan ng tao, hindi yan basta-basta matatanggal. A characteristic, a property, or a condition like a defective intelligence, impulsive personality, madaling magalit, okay, genetic abnormalities, and the physical chemical functioning of the brain. And together with environmental influences on brain function such as drugs, chemicals, and injuries that make some people delinquency prone over the life course. Meaning, maari sila ay makagawa ng hindi magandang bagay because of these latent traits. Okay, so just like you have a picture, dito sa left side, kita natin, pag tinitignan mo, di mo makikita sa harapan, sa kanyang katawan na meron siyang tinatagong mga katangian. Na maaring tong katangian na ito, characteristics na ito, ay maaring yon ang magkokos na makakagawa ito ng isang bagay na hindi tama. Okay? But in his shadow, tago sa kanyang anino yung mga trait na ito. Kaya nga tinatawag nating latent traits. So David Rowe, Wayne Osgood, and Alan Nicewander, in 1990, they focus on basic human behavior and drives such as attachment, aggression, violence, and impulsivity. Meaning, nag-focus sila sa kanilang study to explain human behavior and what drives them to do such thing. First is the attachment. Ano ang mga attachment nila? Say for example, relationship. Okay, with the family, relationship with the community, relationship with the friends, so or with the job. So anything na natawag nating yung tao ay hindi siya makaalis sa isang lugar or yun ang mga nagmo-motivate sa kanya to do something. Okay, and then aggression, okay, then violence. These are of course talking about why people are sometimes very aggressive or very harsh or minsan padalos-dalos sa kanilang mga ginagawa, and their impulsivity, yung tawag natin whether that person is madaling magalit or hindi. And these are linked to antisocial behavior patterns according to Rowe, Osgood, and Nicewander. So according to these three, human traits alone do not produce criminality. So in other words, kahit meron kang strong attachment to your family members or to your loved ones, you have a strong attachment to your friends, to your employment, everything, and you have that kind of aggressive, we call it tendency, and violent thinking and impulsivity, these things are not, we call it, they are not uh, sufficient enough to cause a person to commit a crime. So there shall be a combination of environmental factors. So it is just like your biosocial. In your biosocial, you have the genetic defects of a person, and then you add that with your environmental factors. So a person may commit a crime that is on your biosocial. But in here, it talks about the latent traits, meaning ito yung mga katangian na hindi nakikita. Okay? Because yung mga katangian na nakikita yan, more or less connected pa rin yan doon sa biosocial kasi it talks about the basic or the inherent or the natural, okay, physical structure of a person or biological structure of a person. So, it's a combination of environmental factors such as family life, educational attainment, economic factors, and neighborhood conditions. Okay? So, physical or mental traits are therefore but one part of a large pool of environmental, social, and personal factors that may account for criminality. Meaning, ito yung mga maaring kadahilanan why a person is forced to commit a crime or a violent act. So some people may have a predisposition toward aggression, meaning may mga tao talaga na madali sila na maging padalos-dalos. Okay? Madali sila na mag-react sa mga environmental stimuli. Okay? And they can either suppress that stimuli or not. So stimuli again, anything that makes a person react. Okay? Or it may trigger antisocial acts depending on the we call it the latent traits of a person. So just like in the picture here, this person is an impulsive or sensitive person. Okay? So biglang nagalit nung may tumawag kasi maaring may bad news or maaring hindi tama yung pagkasabi nung tumawag sa kanya kaya nagsisigaw na siya. So may mga ganung tao na okay naman siya, nakikita mo, normal naman siya, pero pag may nasabi ka sa kanya na tawag natin na hindi niya masyadong nagustuhan, bigla itong nagagalit. Okay? So that's the idea, yung natawag nating latent traits. So in the surface, uh, kapag walang stimuli, itong taong to napaka-normal. Okay? Pag may mga tinatawag natin mga stimuli na maaring mag-trigger sa kanya upang ito'y makagawa ng antisocial acts or makagawa ng hindi tama or pwede ring i-suppress ito. Say for example, may mga tao naman na very calm na kahit uh, pinagsasabihan mo na ng hindi tama, binubuli mo na, pero very calm pa rin siya. So he can suppress his aggression and his anti-social tendencies. So one example in your module is that when a person has an impulsive personality, this person may somehow commit crime because he acts in an impulsive manner. Okay, so like when he suddenly draws his gun aiming at his enemy, but unfortunately he hit another person. Okay, this is a kind of picture diyan sa kaliwan ninyo. So may mga taong ganon, sa mga traffic may mga ganon. Okay, kaya may mga road rage minsan na tinatawag natin. Kasi may mga tao talaga na madelay lang ng konti dun sa traffic, busina ng busina, nakikipagsigawan na. So those are the kind of people na very impulsive. Pero in normal environmental condition, okay lang naman sila. Okay? Kaya nga tinatawag na latent traits kasi hindi ito nakikita on the surface. Hindi naman nagagalit araw-araw yan. Napakabait titignan mo. Pero pag may mga environmental factors na magti-trigger sa kanya, madali siyang magalit. Na? Kaya minsan may mga, kapag ikaw ay nagpulis, na hindi pwede na mayroon kang ganyan mga impulsive personality. Kailangan isuppress mo yan. Kilalanin mo sarili mo. Okay? Kaya nga dito sa latent trait theory, you can suppress your impulsivity or your tendency to be aggressive and to do violent acts. Okay? Kaya kapag ikaw ay pulis, no, kailangan na i-control mo 'yan. Kailangan mong tawag natin na makontrol yung latent trait mo na 'yan. Otherwise, maaga kang matatanggal sa pagkapulis. Okay? So now, with those kind of uh, latent personalities or latent traits that we have, so we have now what you call the latent trait theory, that every individual has a set of inborn traits in them with varying degrees. So lahat tayo meron tayong impulsivity, lahat tayo ay may some sort of aggressiveness, no? May mga panahon na naging aggressive tayo, may mga panahon na nagagalit tayo, may mga panahon na hindi. Okay, so accordingly, lahat ng tao ay merong kanya-kanyang inborn traits. Okay, kanya lang hindi tayo pari-parehas ng degree ng mga impulsivities natin. Okay? So, aggressiveness, okay, control over impulses, self-centeredness, and some are born more aggressive with little self-control over their impulses and have very little concern over the needs of others. And such individuals have high tendencies to commit crime. So yung mga tao na hindi kayang kontrolin yung kanilang impulsivity, kay sila yung mga tao na napakataas yung tendency na mag-commit ng crime given, we call it a very stressful condition, given a very even a very minute or a very small stimuli. So you have two sets of pictures on your rights. Okay, yung isa doon sa taas is a picture of a child na bata pa lang, makikita mo na may red flag na itong batang to ay magaling magalit. So may mga ganung bata na pag naglalaro yan, mayroong dinagusto at biglang tinatapon yung laruan. Okay, so yun ang mga bata, makikita mo na sila ay natawag natin na mataas yung degree ng impulsivity nila. Meron namang mga bata na tinatawag natin ay bata pa lang, mapapansin mo na hindi na madaling magalit. So the picture down below, kahit binubuli na yan, he would rather not fight, he would rather cry, or he would rather get away. Okay, so those kind of people, they have what you call a a very low degree of impulsivity. However, kahit very low degree yung impulsivity mo, may mga panahon na bigla na lang magbo-burst niyan. Kaya nga minsan tinatawag natin yung pag yung mga mababait pag nagalit ay matindi kasi akala mo yung mabait anong ginagawa mo hindi yan nagre-react, hindi yan tinatawag natin hindi yan nagiging aggressive. Okay? However, dahil nga meron tayong inborn traits, kapag masyadong mataas na yung stress level, kapag mataas na masyado yung stimuli, okay? So may mga panahon na kahit napakabait ng tao, bigla itong nagagalit. So parang gano'n, may mga teacher kayo na napakabait, okay? Bait-bait niyan, kahit anong ginagawa niyo sa kanya. Pero darating yung panahon na pag di na niya mapigil yan, hindi na niya masuppress yung kanyang impulsivity, biglang nagagalit yan. Because of that latent trait na meron sa bawat individual. So again, on this particular latent trait, it also connects with the degree of the intelligence level of a person. So accordingly, the lower the intelligence of the individual, the more likely they are to commit a crime. And if an individual with poor impulse control and an inability to feel fear or see the consequences of their actions are more likely to be criminals because when a criminal thought comes in it usually has a reward. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun? Kapag mababa na nga yung pag-control mo sa galit mo, okay, and you have that inability to feel fear or see the consequences, hindi mo pa makita, hindi mo pa maisip kung ano yung magiging consequences ng gagawin mo, hindi mo nara-rationalize na mali pala yung gagawin mo, okay, then you will have that higher tendency to commit a crime. Now, an individual who can control their impulse, those who can hold back, okay, normally those are the people na malayo sa aggression, malayo sa violence, at malayo sa criminality. And the one with weaker control will tend to give in. Pag mahina ka sa pagpigil mo sa impulsivity mo, kasi meron yan. Kaya kahit tignan natin, nakikita mo isang tao, ang bait-bait niyan. Pero eventually, may time na pag na-stress na yung kanyang level, no? Or na-attain na yung pinaka napununan sa loob, sabi nga, no? Pag napuno ng salop, okay? So, ibig sabihin, mawawala na yung patience ng taong yan, bigla na lang magagalit. Kasi, normal yan, na meron tayong inborn traits according to the latent traits theory. It is only depending on how uh, strong you are in controlling these traits that you have. And even so, if they can see the consequences of their actions and are fearful of them, meaning takot siya sa consequence, takot siyang mag-cheat, takot siyang gumawa ng aggression kasi alam niya na hindi maganda yung magiging kahihinatnan ng kanyang action. Okay? Then this person will not incline to do that act. It is only when they can't see the consequences and the fear that they carry on with the criminal. Meaning, di nila makikita. Di nila makikita yung tinatawag natin possible consequences. Di nila nare-realize at hindi nila alam yung tawag natin yung di sila natatakot kasi hindi nga nila nakikita yung consequences. And then thereafter, pag nagawa na, saka niya maramdaman, ay, masama palang aking nagawa. Okay, ganito palang aking nagawa. So, papasok ngayon yung kasabihan natin na nasa huli ang pagsisisi because that's the only time na na-realize ng taong yan yung consequences ng kanyang ginawa. But those people who can easily, we call it realize the consequences of their acts, they tend not to do it. Okay? And given pa na mababa yung kanilang impulsivity, malayo sila sa criminal activity. Pero mataas na ang impulsivity mo at medyo mahina pa yung rationalization mo ng mga bagay-bagay na gagawin mo, what could be the result of your actions, eventually those people uh, will tend to commit a criminal act. So finally, in this subject matter, uh, does it mean that if a certain person possesses a genetic abnormality, he is prone to criminality? Not at all times. As mentioned in this theory, latent trait alone does not produce criminality. So again, it is depending on uh, the how strong you are in suppressing your aggressiveness and your violent or tendencies. And what do critics say about this theory? Meaning those people who are trying to go against this theory of criminality, that they say that this is not true, this is not correct. So they are saying that this theory describes personality traits rather than explaining it. Meaning sinasabi lang nila na ito yung ito yung ito yung isang taong yan. Okay? Hindi yan nagagalit or mabilis magalit. So, in this Latin trait theory, hindi daw niya ini-explain kung ano yung cause ng traits na yan. Okay? So, that's all for this subject matter. Once again, thank you for watching and may God bless you all.